Cooper's career was ended due to injury. Arch Manning's career is going to be ended due to being shitty. Or should I say Pitt, bitch? Y'all ain't doing nothing. Pitt's been irrelevant since Kenny Pickett left in 2021. Yeah! Well, you want to know what Clemson is? Not shit. I am over Colorado's shit. Over. One of the biggest things as a fan base that we always say, you don't lose to Vanderbilt. As they fucking should be, dead last, because you fucking suck and you're dog shit. Okay? Good.
Testing, alright. You can cut out that other shit.
Hey, yo, Aim. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, bitch, I'm from Texas, where we still riding swangers and put diamonds in our necklace. Pour drink inside my lemonade till it look like a Pepsi. See, I come from the D where we got checks and we be flexing. If you ain't from my state, then you should know don't fuck with Texas. Hey, we always strapped, we keep our weapons. My mama from the 8, she slowed it down for me at 7. Used to think Pimp C was a god before he went to heaven. I knew what Pusha P was before Gunna even said it.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We're back at it again with the 2026 college football record predictions, continuing with the SEC. This time we're going to be predicting the Texas Longhorns 2026 season. But of course, before we can do that, we got to recap 2025. So we're going to hop right into that by talking about their season last year, game by game. Then we'll discuss their stats from last season, and if there's any headlines, we'll talk about that. Then we'll get into the record prediction. So, Texas last season, they were 10-3 overall, 6-2 in conference play. They were 6-0 at home, undefeated, and they ended up being the Citrus Bowl champions. So, they started off their season last year with a touchdown loss to Ohio State at Ohio State, 14-7. You know, Ohio State was the defending national champions. That's a tough place to play. So, with good reason, you can see why Texas lost that game. Then they had 3 nobody games against San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. Won all of those by double digits. Quickly advanced to 3-1. Then they played at Florida. Last year, I actually predicted Florida to upset Texas at the Swamp, and Florida did just that. Texas lost that 29-21. Since that is Arch Manning's first trip to the Swamp, that was Texas's first trip to the Swamp, and I don't even know how long, if ever. That's the only reason I predicted them to lose that game, and I figured if they were going to lose to Ohio State, that they were probably going to lose to Florida, and the math added up right, and they started 3-2, and they had 2 losses before it was even the middle of October, and everybody started counting Texas out. And from there, all they did was start winning. Oklahoma won the Red River rivalry 23-6. Oklahoma hasn't beat Texas since 2023 when Dylan Gabriel was the starting quarterback. Then they had back-to-back overtime road victories against Kentucky 16-13 and then Mississippi State 45-38. Mississippi State played a lot of teams hard last season. Then they had a win against Vandy 34-31 at home. Vanderbilt actually put up a pretty good fight. We all know Vandy had that legacy year last season. Then they lost at Georgia 35-10. Nobody's surprised by that. Then they hosted Arkansas, won 52-37. I'm not surprised by that either because Arkansas was one of those teams last year that, yeah, they went 2-10, but if almost all their games, except for maybe Notre Dame, they played all their opponents tough. Arkansas had a good offense last year. They just didn't have a defense, and of course, you know, Arkansas lost their coaching staff. They got a new one this year. Arkansas just hasn't had good luck lately, so yeah, but Texas ended up winning that. Then they beat Texas A&M 27-17. And and that would end their regular season. They didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the SEC title game. Arch Manning didn't win the Heisman. His career hasn't ended due to being shitty yet, though. And they made it to a bowl game, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl against Michigan, where they would win 41-27, and that would cap off Texas's 2025 season. Let's go ahead and look at some statistics for the 2025 Texas Longhorns. Once I can get that pulled up real quick. Please. There we go. All right. So, statistically, last season, Arch Manning had 3,163 passing yards. Contravion Wisner had 597 rushing yards. Ryan Wingo had 834 receiving yards. And then, let's see. Go to the next one, please. Jelani McDonald had 80 tackles. And then he also was the leading interception guy with 3. So Jelani McDonald actually had a pretty good season. So, and then we go to the team stats for Texas last year. Let's see. So points per game, they had 30.5, 396 total points, 48 touchdowns, 247 first downs. 3,259 passing yards, 7.7 per attempt, 250.7 passing yards per game, 28 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 427 rush attempts for 1,791 yards, 4.2 per attempt. They averaged 137.8 rushing yards a game. Not a very good rushing team last year. They only had 17 rushing touchdowns. They had 871 offensive plays for 5,050 yards. They averaged 388.5 yards a game. So, it's a quick little recap of Texas last year. Now we're going to take a deep dive into their 2026 season and predict their record game by game. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. 2026. So, as I already stated previously, Ole Miss and Texas A&M already have them winning, so that's automatically 2 wins. You can go ahead and chalk up Texas State and UTSA as wins as well, because now they have a 9-game conference schedule, so this time you only get 2 cupcake-ass games, Texas. So that'll immediately give them 4 victories in 2026. Then Ohio State comes to town. This one is a very tough game to predict, but simply based on what I've seen from both programs the past few seasons, it seems like Ohio State has been better in bigger games. There we go. Yeah, bigger in bitter games. That's what I was about to fucking say. Damn. Apparently when I do a Texas video, I don't even know how to talk. So thanks a lot, Texas, you low IQ fucks. Freaking damn. Anyway. What did Vince Young get on the fucking Wonderlic? Oh yeah, that's right. A 5. Anyway. Moving on. So yeah, Texas already have them at 4 wins. Ohio State. It's in Texas this year. It's a revenge game. But from what I've seen, Ohio State has played better in bigger games. And they finally got a national title. Ryan Day seems like a more proven coach than Steve Sarkisian. And in order for me to predict Texas to beat a team like a Ryan Day-led Ohio State, they're going to have to show me. So with that being said, I think Ohio State beats Texas in a very close one once again. Now, obviously, Ohio State could win. Texas could win. It could go either way. But I'm just going to go with my gut feeling here and say Ohio State beats them. Then they go at Tennessee. This is going to be awkward for the Manning family because, Peyton's history there. This will be Arch Manning's first trip to Tennessee. This will be Steve Sarkisian's first trip to Tennessee as a head coach. This will be Texas's first trip to Tennessee in I don't even know how long. And it's earlier in the season. It's kind of the same spot where that Florida game was last year. And up until making this video, I originally had Tennessee losing this game, but I'm going to switch my pick here, not because I want Tennessee to win, because obviously I do, not because I want them to be the real UT, because Tennessee is the real UT. I'm just going to pick this as a loss early because I think it's going to catch Texas off guard. And like I said, I don't want to give any team too many wins. You got to find losses somewhere. And I don't think Texas is going to go 11-1. I'm not going to pick a lot of SEC teams to go 11-1 because it's just not going to happen. And I think Texas is going to be a lower tier than Alabama and Georgia. So with that being said, I think Tennessee upsets Texas. And Texas is going to start 2-2. Now, that's a very, very bold pick. Texas could easily win that game, but I'm going to give the home advantage to Tennessee just because Texas hasn't experienced that before. And if Billy Napier can outcoach Steve Sarkisian at the Swamp, I think Josh Heupel has a shot too. So, I'm just going to say Texas starts 2-2. Then they play against Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Until Oklahoma can beat Texas again, I'm just going to pick Texas. That damn simple. Texas advances to 3-2. Then they host Florida. It's a quote-unquote revenge game. I think they're going to beat Florida this year, so they advance to 4-2. I already picked them to beat Ole Miss. That's 5-2. They host Mississippi State. This time it's not in Starkville. They should handle business there, so 6-2. At Missouri. Now, I think Texas is going to be a far better team than Missouri. It is a road environment, but I don't think this game will catch Texas lacking. So I think they advance to 7-2 with a win. Now, that could just be me overthinking here, but honestly, I think that Texas is going to win this game. Missouri's taking a step back this season. I don't think they're going to go to like 5-7 or 6-6 or anything like that. I mean, they could, but I don't know. I just think Texas is going to finally be a better team, and they've kind of got more determined throughout the season by this point, and they now are capable of winning a road game like this. Like, if you were to switch Tennessee and Missouri, I would have picked Missouri where Tennessee is at the schedule, and I would have picked Texas where Tennessee would have been, So it's kind of the same philosophy. So I'm going to take Texas in this game. And that would have them going 7-2. Sorry, I was just making sure I was correct there. 7-2. Then they play at LSU. This is going to be a tough one. I haven't done LSU yet, and when I do LSU's prediction, that's going to be probably the most interesting one because of Lane Kiffin. Honestly, if Texas can't win at Neyland, because see, Missouri and Tennessee, that's one thing, but LSU is unanimously supposed to be one of the toughest places to play, not only the SEC, but in the country. And if LSU is anything better than what they were last year, I think they will be favored against Texas here, or Texas will be a very, very small favorite. But I don't think Arch Manning is capable of going in there and beating LSU at Death Valley. So I don't know. I just don't think so. I think this is going to be a loss. I think LSU is going to beat Texas. Now, obviously, I could be wrong, but I think they're going to fall to 7-3 right here. Something's just telling me Lane Kiffin's going to have the troops rallied by that point. He's going to outcoach Sarkisian. I just think Steve Sarkisian, going back to that Missouri game, he's way better than Eli Drinkwitz. It's not even fucking close. And Missouri is not Neyland. It's not Death Valley. The only reason I said you can probably turn the tables with the Texas-Missouri and Texas-Tennessee games is because Tennessee, if you put them in the Missouri slot by then, probably would be more apt to lose to Texas at home by that point in the year than earlier in the year, because that's going to be a statement win for Tennessee. If Tennessee can get by Georgia Tech, they're going to have some confidence going into that Texas game, and they could catch Texas early. If you were to put them where Missouri is, it could end differently and Texas wins. So that's the biggest thing there. But when it comes to Missouri and their road environment and their head coach versus LSU and Tennessee's environments and their head coaches, I think they are better. And I don't know. I'm going to quit rambling here, and I'm just going to say LSU wins. Okay, 7-3. Then they host Arkansas. I think they're going to beat Arkansas. There shouldn't really be a big explanation to that. New head coaching staff this season for Arkansas, as I've already mentioned, coming off a 2-10 season. Arkansas is not going to be anywhere close to being any better this season, in my opinion. So I'm going to say 8-3. I already picked them to beat Texas A&M, so that'll be 9-3. And I think Texas finishes 2026 with a 9-3 record with a decent bowl bid with Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning. Obviously, I could be wrong. They could beat LSU. They could beat Tennessee. Hell, they could even beat Ole Miss. Well, they could beat Ole Miss. They could lose to Ole Miss. They could beat A&M. They could lose to A&M. So they could beat Ohio State. I don't know, but I'm just thinking 9-3 in 2026 for the Texas Longhorns. That schedule was just very tough for me because I'm a Tennessee fan, and I have to try to be realistic there. I'm going to say Texas could easily go 11-1, 10-2, 9-3. Hell, they could go 8-4, 7-5. I really don't give a damn, but there's your prediction. 9-3 for the Texas Longhorns. My mind's already a little sidetracked entering this prediction anyway, because currently there's a severe weather outbreak going on in Indiana, large wedge tornadoes, potentially a historic tornado in the making from what I saw before I started recording this video. So my mind's not 100% on football right now, so I was kind of just winging it anyway. So I do apologize if this video was kind of bad, but through all of it, I do appreciate you guys sticking around, and I appreciate you guys if you watched to this point. And, this comes from the bottom of my heart. I do wish Texas the best this season, despite not liking them. I wish them the best of luck in the UT game. My buddy Josh is a big Texas fan. So, at the end of the day, no hard feelings, despite me not liking Texas. So I did try to be legit in this video, despite the, being sidetracked and whatnot. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling, get this video over with, and I'll go ahead and hop off here, go cover this severe weather, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.